When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, March 20th. We're almost done with Lent. What is going on, boys?
What's going on, fellas?
Nothing. I'm not trying to speed that up. Fish Fridays are going to go out the window. We know how popular they are in the Pittsburgh area. So where are you guys going today?
Well, Tom, I did see on a local sports podcast or radio show this week, they had a little call in to debate, are the fish fries getting too expensive? They're saying that the churches must be dipping their fish in gold because some of these fish fries are out of control.
Man, I don't know. I could go back and forth. I'll tell you prices here. So I did get a fish meal from St. Malachy's here in Kennedy. Got a little pierogi, got a halushki. You do have to get all the a la carte items extra. It ended up coming out to about $44 for, a decent sized meal. Did have a little bit of leftovers, but if you're really looking for a deal, you're an Aldi or a Dollar General shopper, you like the Dollar Tree, head on down to Jabby Joe's in McKees Rocks because they got a fish special. You get one extra bun with it. You get feed two. You get mac and cheese, fries, and coleslaw for $22. So if you're not going there, I could see it being outrageously expensive because that is the only place that is affordable.
I think that's the problem right there. I think everyone's used to hearing fish fry like $9. Let's go get a fish sandwich. But when you're saying $40 for my fish sandwich, that is, again, I get they're big fish. It's what the market costs. But I'm just saying, I don't know.
I did get a dozen pierogies and some halushki I ate the next day. So we'll say 3 meals for $44. Me, my wife, and a lunch.
I mean, depending on where you go, man, if that fish is big enough, like Tom said, just get an extra bun. Call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, there's not many places. Only the country club serves one fish sandwich. But everywhere else, you get two when you order.
Listen, I wasn't trying to start a battle. I know Tom is very, very protective of his fish sandwiches. I was just saying that's the talk of the town is sometimes they seem a little expensive where, when we were kids, that was the deal. Go get your fish sandwich every Friday of Lent and you weren't breaking the bank. But if you're taking
I'll end this discussion right here at 3 minutes. We can move on to mortgage. I'm going to get pasta tonight.
Well, we will continue on, but it is kind of like a good, our talk today is about the pre-offer huddle. This is what it's all about. Having a group talk, having some communication back and forth to make sure exactly what you're putting in for your client, for the buyer, is not only good for the real estate side, but it's good for financing. And why we find it so important is you need to make sure the purchase price is correct. That down payment makes sense to your client. A lot of clients are thinking their only cost is the down payment. Then they get a closing cost sheet and they say, wait a minute, I only wanted to pay this. Why are all these other costs? So you need to make sure everyone's on the same page. Plus, there are items we can do on the back end. If your buyer is fully pre-approved and we know the address, Tom, we can look at potentially seeing if we got an appraisal waiver. We could see if Anthony's going to buy out the mortgage insurance or buy down the interest rate. You can give the buyer up to date, up to the second information for their offer that could definitely help.
I mean, it's so important to communicate. I can't tell you how many times we have people that just, willy-nilly put it in and things are messed up because we didn't talk about the loan amount, the down payment, certain things with a different property. Maybe the taxes were higher to throw something a little out of whack. We always need to be talking before the offer gets put in, and we're more than happy to provide those estimates, unlike some other banks. So I feel like there is such a benefit to talking to us before you put an offer in with our pre-approval letter on it. It also is so much easier when we know that the buyer is fully working with us and we could then manage and work around that buyer's problems or figure out a solution to make it work best for them. When they're shopping us, all we're doing is trying to show a low rate because that's typically what they're shopping. But we could actually get really creative when we have a buyer working under us and wants to work with West Penn.
And Anthony, the appraisal waiver is available for any client that's going for conventional loan with at least 10% down. In this market, that is a lot of buyers that have a potential at an appraisal waiver that their agent does not know at the time of offer if they're getting an appraisal waiver or not, where if they do the pre-offer huddle, if they work with us, we would be able to let that agent know if an appraisal is going to be needed before they even put the offer in.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole premise of a pre-offer huddle is very important. I mean, the appraisal waiver, that could certainly help with the offer if we get that up front. But more importantly, we're actually going over the options to be able to finance this property in depth with the client. So many people rely on the agent to give financial numbers and advice, and that's the wrong thing. They don't work for the bank. They're not offering financial solutions. Working together with your lender as well as your agent to, come together as far as figuring out what the best offer would be based on what the seller could accept, as well as what the financing options would work best for the client, is going to be so beneficial in the pre-offer huddle, because that makes the buyer fully aware of what they're looking at as far as numbers, and not just guesstimates, based on, whatever, but real numbers. And then ultimately it also helps the agent confidently submit that offer, knowing, hey, this is the best offer we can submit. So doing the pre-offer huddle is a very important thing.
And another thing that will come up all the time is the seller assistance talk. Okay, can we get seller assistance? Can we not get seller assistance? Do they need it without even talking about it? This buyer doesn't have an option. We have to go in with it. Can we go over asking? Will it appraise? All of these conversations can happen when buyer, agent, and loan officer are all together. They can't happen unless everyone is talking and communicating, because we need to know all sides of the information.
Yeah. And we're more than happy to do it. That's the most important thing to remember.
I mean, there's just so many things that pop up we see. I mean, property taxes can be wrong, where now the buyer's putting in an offer where they think the payment's going to be different. So now we get an offer accepted, and now they want to terminate because they didn't have the proper information on the monthly payment.
I actually just had one of these earlier this week. I was writing up an offer for somebody, or they were writing up the offer, but I was doing the estimate and I'm running the taxes. $748 they had in there for the taxes on this $160,000 property. I was literally in shock that the listing agent had that in there. But, as we go and calculate the taxes, I figured out that they were about $1,200. But I also, in that pre-offer huddle, when talking to them and talking to the agent, we were able to let them know that those taxes would double possibly. So that buyer was informed and know exactly what's going on with that offer, because some things can come up. And if the monthly payment doubles, or the taxes double for the monthly payment for a buyer, they might not be able to qualify or make that payment. So these are some of the things that we could talk about and let them know as well.
It's all valid information. And everyone in this business, whether you're a lender or a real estate agent, should understand how the property taxes work in our area. I get the public may not fully understand it. It's not rocket science. It's pretty easy to look at assessed values, to understand common level ratios, to see if your buyer's at risk of having taxes shoot up after closing. And it is our job as real estate agents and loan officers to inform the clients of what can happen. Some buyers may be fine with that, but it's the buyers that close, and right after closing, they get information that they should have had through the transaction that this could happen to them. So we are very, very, very happy to talk things over. It only makes the transaction smoother if we have a pre-offer huddle before that offer goes in.
Yeah, only makes sense.
So that's it. If you need anything, give Ant a call. He is an architect of the pre-offer huddle. He has created this. He has been pushing it for years and years and years. We're just hopping on his back and trying to get it out to the masses because, again, communication is a key, Anth. And if we get it from the beginning, you're going to have a smooth transaction.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't lose the deal because the client gets bad info. So, work with your lender, get the actual options to help you succeed with your offer and the buyer getting it accepted. So
there we go. Have a great weekend. Everyone traveling to Nashville, be safe. Hopefully TSA isn't too mean to you. And we'll see everyone next week.
you guys.
Thanks.
Later.
Later.
Tom, Ryan, and